I'll play. I'll usually play like 2 times a week, maybe for like 2 hours of competitive.
Okay. Okay. So 2 times a week for 2 hours, and the rest is quick play. Is that with friends or by yourself? Again, I'm trying to remember what your answers were to that question.
With friends.
Okay, so mostly social, and then when you do play ranked, are you doing it by yourself, or are you also doing ranked with friends?
If I'm support, I'm usually by myself, but sometimes I'll play ranked with my friend, but I'll play on DPS because
Okay,
he's not as
okay,
highly ranked.
makes sense, makes sense. So right now, do you have any goals rank wise, or is it mostly just I'm looking at your form? It's like mostly to pinpoint the problems in the majority of the games I play. But do you have any ranked goals?
Not really, because I don't know how ranked really I don't really think it matters that much. I just want to understand
Okay.
uh
Okay. Makes
really.
sense. Makes sense. Okay, because I was gonna say like that is one of the it is a lot of quick play, which I understand. I play a lot of quick play
Mhm.
myself when I'm playing with friends. It is a lot of fun, but obviously like you being able to like improve as competitively as you possibly can is going to be done in the
Mhm.
ranked environment. But if that's not
I
as big
agree.
of a priority for you and you're just enjoying like the social side of things, then there's no pressure. Let's see what we can do from where you're at
Yeah.
right there. Okay.
I would like to play. I probably will play more competitive though, because they're just not they're just more quick play type of guys. Really,
Yeah, I
that's
got
that's
you.
all it is.
I got you. I got you. One of the things that you can do whenever you're trying to be more productive with your time is just make
Hmm.
smaller adjustments with how you're approaching things. So even something as simple as like, you're doing the 2 hours two times a week. You can even cut that down to like an hour and a half and do 3 days a week. So like your
Okay.
overall quality or quantity goes up by only a little bit, but just spreading it out more evenly over the course of the week. Maybe you do like an hour and a half or an hour of solo queue and then you play quick play with friends. That's going to be a really productive a way to like min max your time most efficiently.
Gotcha.
But again, it goes with your goals. It's up to you. Okay, what do you feel is holding you back from improving? You say consistency. When it's time for me to play, I'll warm up, but then my friends want to play, and who they aren't as competitive players, and they're too low ranked to queue. Yeah, I mean that's it. Like that's absolutely going to be what's holding you back. But the problem
Uh,
is that's probably also like the most fun that you have playing. I'd assume, um,
uh,
or or maybe not.
about even.
About
It's
even.
about even.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Something to kind of keep in mind. Maybe that's something that you need to kind of find your split. You know,
Yeah.
like how much of this do I enjoy playing with friends versus how much would I enjoy feeling like I'm actually progressing? I
Mhm.
personally really enjoy grinding when I'm learning a new character, but I personally also
Yeah.
like playing with friends and quick play as well. So again, I understand that that's the kind of the difficulty, and honestly, that's not really something I can coach you on. What I would just recommend is just
Hmm.
reflect about like
Right.
like really what's the most important thing for me right now. Can I adjust my schedule to better match like what I actually want to do, and then do that.
Mhm.
That would be my recommendation. Okay, sleep looks fine. I don't really have any other questions. Do you have any other questions for me?
No. Just a disclaimer. I haven't been able to play recently because of school.
That's fine with me.
Just this like the past few weeks.
That's all
So
right. That's all right. Obviously, that's priority, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's take a look at some. I got a replay code.
yeah. I'll drop it in the chat.
Let's do it. Now, why this code in particular?
Uh well, I didn't realize that the codes got wiped, so I actually played this yesterday.
That's all right.
But also, I run into this problem where I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing when I don't feel like I have someone to help. As you can see, I got like a Farah and Junkrat
Yeah,
on my
yeah,
team, so I didn't
yeah.
know who the you
That's
know.
a classic Lucio problem. Is this Lucio all the way through, or do you swap that?
Yeah, Lucio all the way.
Lucio all the way through? Okay, perfect. I mean, this is a very common question. I think especially
Mhm.
in Overwatch 2, because in Overwatch 1 there were just more people to help, right? There were more tanks and
Mhm.
more tank trades, and in general, like helping more people even just with your arrow was useful. But crucially, Lucio in Overwatch 2 is like you said, like trying to find who can I help, right?
Mhm.
But then sometimes the answer is nobody. So then
Yeah.
you just need to go selfish mode. Like if you look at the enemy
Got it.
comp here, you could speed your Rhine around. That might be
Mm-hmm.
useful. But it may also be useful to try and pull some attention onto yourself, to try and set up a short angle onto that Cassidy, or set up a short angle and harass the Pharah or something like that. Like I know it sounds crazy, harass the Pharah, right? But she doesn't have a
Mm-hmm.
pocket, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, remember what makes Lucio exceptional is your flexibility with what you can do and where you can be.
You're right.
And so you need to decide like where do I selfishly as Lucio feel like I would like to be, and like answering that question is going to be very very important. A little bit of lag, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. It happens. So like right now, your Ryan's going in. So here's where you have to turn your brain on, because you got to decide what to do here. You've got choices. First choice is what? What's the obvious, typical Lucio thing to do here?
You'd speed your Rhinen. Right?
Speed your Ryan in, and then what would you do onto the Roadhog?
I actually this angle right here, I'd probably shoot him from.
You could shoot him.
If I can get there.
You could shoot him. You ready for this one? Go in with
Mhm.
your Ryan because he's the one soaking the damage. And what could you do from here besides just
I
damage?
could I boop?
Yeah. What use is the boop? Where does the okay when Roadhog sees Ryan doing this? Where do you think that Roadhog is going to want to go to?
Probably away, right?
Away, right? Towards cover, anywhere, right? Just like probably back towards the statue. Your job with Lucio Boop is to say, no, you can't.
Right.
Go to cover. Your job with Lucio is to damage the enemy team's positioning fundamentals, okay? You're just to say, oh, you want to play cover? No, you can't. And so even though the Boop itself doesn't do that much damage, it will set up damage, if that makes sense.
Right.
As well as you do damage as well. So that's the easy answer. Speed your Rhine, get close to the Roadhog, boop the Roadhog in. Nice job. Brilliant. Now, let's get 12-dimensional chess here, okay? What else can you do that's useful?
If they want to, I could take an off angle. I could go through the little what that room on the left.
Yeah. Now, how would this be useful?
Well, they won't be shooting my Ryan while he's getting, or they won't be shooting other people if I got
Can
their
you
attention.
do decent damage from this range?
Mm-hmm.
Can you survive on this angle with the character that you're playing?
Yes.
Yes. So there you go. Short range off angle, like you said, at least a distraction, if not a kill. And it's because that you are close enough to actually be a damage threat. And so it's up to you. Now, which one do you like better? Because I think both are reasonable.
I like the play with Ryan better. I don't think I don't think I trust my team enough to capitalize off of it, or I don't trust myself to survive long enough for them to capitalize off of it. Really.
Okay. So you're not confident taking the shorter range off, and you'd rather just get value on the Roadhog. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what would be the worst thing that you could do here? Besides going back to spawn. Right, just standing here and poking. Why?
Because I'm not effective there.
Why not?
And nor am I. Because I don't have the range, and I'm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. Do you see how slow you were? How slow you were? You had an opportunity. You had action from your tank, whether it's spamming or panning or poking or whatever, and you didn't actually capitalize off of it. And the reason why that's such an issue is what range are you playing now? Still.
Too far of range.
Too far, right? So this is where you're not going to be very effective. Like there are almost the entire support roster would be more effective at what you're doing right now. And that's the key issue. Like right now, where could you be? Again, choices, right? Two choices.
I could.
In fact, the same two choices.
Yeah.
Right?
I could be with,
Right?
Junkrat on the Roadhog or Ryan.
Or here, this is close range. You can disrupt this guy's hook, right? Like I know, like oh, Roadhog's scary, yeah, but it's close range. You got options. You can boop, you can disrupt, you can distract, you can harass, you can, right? Or you could do this here. You can enable here as opposed to selfishly, and instead of enabling your Ryan, you could just selfishly play in the Roadhog. Your choice.
Right.
Now the way that you do this is fine. Like I appreciate you closing a distance, but what's the problem with the way that you close the distance?
That's the wrong route to get
Why
there.
is it the wrong route? What's the difference? I want you to look at the blue circle or the red circle here. Watch it. What's the problem with what you just did? Talk about a hot knife through butter, right? Don't do that. You want to be indirect. You want to be wrapping around. You want to be taking an angle, not going right down the middle into the open. This is how you die. Now, I appreciate you closing the distance, right? And you did create some space, but that will kill you. That will kill you. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So close the distance, red at Lucio, but choose an angle, a sightline, or a flank to do it from, either left or right. Now, how effective are you here? Like, let's say that they'd try to recontest and push in. Is this relatively short range?
Yes.
Relatively. Are you assisting somebody on the angle? Yes. Beautiful. I like the fact that you even recognize this. That was good. Good. I mean, we see why you're diamond, right? You're not always recognizing opportunities, and maybe the way that you're doing it so far hasn't been perfect, but you are closing the distance. You are not AFKing, right? You are taking proactivities. So there's a lot of good things to say so far. Do you have any questions so far?
No, not so far.
Chat. Are you useful where you are right now? What can you do where you are right now?
Oh my gosh, I'm pinched. I could boop Ramatra, and in fact, I think that's what I. Oh wait, yeah, I could boop Ramatra.
Yeah, looks good
I
to
think
me.
that's what I do.
Looks good to me. Obviously, you said I am pinch.
Yeah.
But you did. So I think you need to be careful. But once she's out, you know, this is. The only problem is what? Right?
Video cut out. Oh, there we go.
You back? Okay.
Yeah.
Get off the floor. That's it. So I think in your concern of the Pharaoh, which is very reasonable, you need to be way sneakier.
Yeah, I think that was what I was struggling with there. I wasn't sure if I should occupy that space because of the Farah being a threat there, because I don't think I'm very good against Farah.
Not very good.
I mean, if she's on top of me, I have a chance if she misses a couple of shots, but I don't think that's likely to happen there.
I think all things considered, I think you did okay. I really do. I think you were here. You helped your Farah poke out their Farah. Use that angle to poke the tank. Oh, shoot, they're pushing me out. Only thing here is don't end up in the open. Tuck in here. Then you go back, shoot, and we're cooking. That's all right.
Was the boop mistimed on Ramatra? Because I mean, I know I forced his punch for him, but I booping him in I feel like was bad because that's the only time he's a threat to Ryan.
Yes and no, because he can also just hold his shield, right? Or just put his shield down and poke out your Ryan's shield as well. I would put it this way. I would not overthink the micro of like when and where to boop if the answer isn't obvious. Because yeah, you could look at it and be like, oh, I need to play more passively and boop the Ram back when he pops Nemesis for him, maybe. But honestly, like that's we're not there yet, frankly. I just want to see you position short off angles and taking proactive action. And then when you get a little bit more comfortable, then you can start to make some of those micro decisions. I'm not even sure the answer to that question. You booping him in might have been the only reason they popped his Nemesis for him early. And that might have indirectly allowed your Ryan to pop off there. Don't worry about it, frankly. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
If the answer isn't obvious, then the answer isn't important enough for you to worry about right now. Let's put it that way. That's a good general principle because there's always going to be obvious things that are probably more important. Lucio differential, please. Yes, thank you. Now what? Now what? I
I
don't want you
could.
to, I don't want you to think like a support here. I want you to be a playmaker.
Yeah, I could take an off angle. I could go on the left there.
Mm-hmm.
Think.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, the only thing is, I didn't like the range there because of how far he can be.
I don't like it either.
I think maybe up top.
Okay.
On the.
This question: could you go with your Ryan and do the exact same thing?
I could. Yeah.
You could just speed in, but then it's like, oh, it feels a little awkward because it's a little open. Okay, make this transition easier. What tools do you have in your toolbox here?
Yeah. Wall riding.
Okay, what else do you have? Looking smack dab in the middle of your screen at the bottom there.
Oh, beat.
Do it. Do it.
Oh my beats were so terrible.
Do it. Listen to the voices. This is the way to do it right now. What could you do?
Yeah, I guess I could. Could we beat engage?
Yeah, of course, good. This fight's still going. Use the beat. You see a target. You see a way to close the distance. Do it. Go. Do it right now. Speed.
They were
Beat.
terrible.
Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Your job with
Yeah.
beat is to win the fight. Your job is not to counter and ult. Your job is to win the fight. You can win a fight right now with beat. Do it. Because what other positioning option do you have here? All your angles feel too far.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you were to go top, this still feels awkward and naked, right? It feels way too open.
Yeah.
There isn't really a good angle here. What you're doing is honestly, I guess, fine. Like just heal your Ryan, shoot the enemy ram, look for opportunities to engage.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the tool to engage here. What are you waiting for?
I honestly, I think, was waiting for him to actually go in, but I guess maybe he was
the feeling
waiting
is
for
mutual.
me to be.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you got the tool to go in here, right? Like Ryan can go in, but everything feels a little far if he doesn't have beat. So go. That's your responsibility. It's your responsibility when you have a tool to make value out of it. Because I'm concerned here that by the time that you beat, this fight might already be lost. Now, obviously here, if you see this happening, nobody's making a play. Okay, somebody's making a play. You see it?
Junkrat.
Yeah, go. Go right now. Still maybe not the most optimal range, but at least something's happening. Or beat. I see, I see it. You were waiting for him to take the action with beat. Well, but what's the problem with that? Like, it's not a bad beat, let's be very clear, but what's the problem? Where are you right now?
Pretty open, right?
Right? But are you making a play?
No.
Are you closing the distance? Are you creating space?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
It honestly feels a little bit like you're just kind of just existing, right? And that was your ticket out of there, and you didn't do it. Oh, and I also want to point out one other thing as well. Check this out. Well, so much for that try. You could have been useful here, no?
Yeah.
So what you're missing is you've missed two things. One, you missed the opportunity to beat engage to set up your own play. Two, you missed an off angle or a flank play from one of your DPS that could have allowed you to also do something. Those are your opportunities that you've missed. Does that make sense? All right. That is the second time that Pharah's been trapped in the past 30 seconds. But see, I think that, like, if we look at this... There you go. If we look at, like, the last minute and a half, it's really just been kind of... The best description is inactivity, right? There hasn't been a lot happening. There you go. Farah made a play, now we're good. Now we're cooking. Okay. Let's keep going here. Okay, let's wait for stuff to happen. Okay, here we go. Now. I like the little angle there. Nice. Nice. Only adjustment there, minor adjustment. Turnaround. That's it. Turnaround. Okay. Yeah, you move a lot slower when you go backwards, so the amp speed wasn't quite enough. You needed to turn around there. But nice boop. Nice amp speed. Good stuff. Still, yes, yeah, he still dies for it. Nice job. Now. What do you think? Where should you devolve? Where should you have, what's the mistake here?
It's too open.
Too open, too far. Too open, too far. The problem is not the proactivity, it's the problem is where is the proactivity. It's too open, too far. That's all. Okay. We're back.
Actually, I do have a question.
Please.
So the diva on the high ground, is it worth booping if she could just go straight back up? Or sure. Better yet, say if it was a Baptiste and he could it's not even on cooldown. Is it even worth booping like Baptiste now?
Sure. Does the Baptiste want to be on high ground?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I see. Because he could shoot my team.
So when you boop him down, can he go back to the good position? Yes, but during that process, he's not doing damage anymore.
Right.
So even though it feels like, oh, it's a waste of time, well, no, it's not, because you're preventing him for doing something that he wants to do for at least a portion of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're still starving him out. And the same thing goes with Diva. If Diva wants to hold high ground, boop her off of high ground. Make her use boosters to get it again, and then boop her off again, right? Or at least start a skirmish there between you and the Diva, and that's what you want, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you want. If you're fighting over the position versus just giving it up, fighting is still worth it. Fighting is still worth it. Good, nice. See, you notice, like, here's what I'm noticing. You are very willing to get dirty with it, but you need somebody else to do something first. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that sometimes you miss windows where you could be doing something. Mm-hmm. Like that left flank on first fight, or the sound barrier on second point, right?
Right.
And sometimes you don't even recognize when people are doing things. Like the Junkrat took the flank and you didn't even pay attention, and then you missed the opportunity to actually do something. Something to keep in mind. Like there are points on this map where it feels very open, right?
Yeah, I think I get in my head about the whole timing thing. So like waiting for someone to do something like you said, and I think that's what makes me miss.
Well, it's crucial to understand what is good timing. Is good timing waiting for your team to commit, or is good timing waiting for your team to be there?
Is it to commit, or is it to be there?
Right now you're waiting for a commit, but it's not. It's just them being there is good enough.
Okay. So is it situational whether either one is the answer?
No, it's always when they're be there. That's always good enough. That's always good enough. Because the thing is like, let's give you a scenario. So your team is here. You beat engage. You go dive the soldier. Your Ryan is an idiot and just stands there and shields off the ram. He doesn't actually pin in with you. With beat, can you still get in here, harass, maybe get the kill, survive, and so on? Yes. You don't need your Ryan to go in with you for that play to work. You might have a little bit more attention than you'd like, but it'll still work. And if you go all the way back to first point, when your Ryan is pushing the Roadhog or whatever, and you said, oh, I don't trust my backline to actually walk forward and take the space, so I don't want to do this. But the thing is that, can you still live this angle? You should, because where's the Roadhog? He's over here. Where's the support's attention? Well, it's helping the Roadhog. So in theory, as long as this is a short range off angle, you should still be okay here, even if your backline doesn't push the way that you'd like them to. Now, you still need to survive this, right? You still have to be smart. You still have to give the enemy team respect. But basically what I'm seeing right now is there's either total inactivity or there's just commit all the way in. Do you remember when you committed here? You just ran it right down middle into the middle of the enemy backline. You trusted your team to commit there. But it actually was silly because it was not a very intelligent engage. Don't wait for that. Wait for your team to be just engaged in any sort of cooldown trade, poking, prodding, pushing, whatever. You start things off.
Okay.
You're built for it. As long as you do it smart with cover and amp, and you got the wall to ride on, and it's a short range. And if 3 people look at you, you play your life, right? I don't want you to wait for you to have the teammates that are going to behave in the way that you want them to. Or even the comp, right? Like, what happens if your guys are on Sigma? You might go Baptiste, but like, let's say that I'm on Lucio. We're on Sigma. Sigma might not push. Sigma might just poke and poke and poke and poke, but that's still good enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you be smart about when you're pushing, but also don't wait. I think you guys should cap this. Yeah, it should be good enough for you to do what you need to do. Don't wait. Do you have any questions so far? Because that was a good one.
No. Not pertaining to the match. No.
Okay. Do you have any other questions outside of that? We can answer those too.
Yeah. I just have a question about I guess just hero choice. So I put Lucio and Bap on my form, but honestly, I accidentally one trick Lucio, or I have been for a while now, and the only time I'm not Lucio is when someone else picks him before I do.
Yep.
And I guess my question is Bap like a? I know he's a good hero, but if I have Bap as my second hero, do you think I got my bases covered pretty much for? Okay.
Yep. I think you're covered. And honestly, if you really pay attention to what we're talking about this review and get really good at it, you could get away with one tricking Lucio.
Okay.
It's just going to be situations like the Junkertown and Havanas and Circuit Royales and even points like this where, like, let's say your Ryan goes hog here and it's like there's not going to be a lot of pushing. Are you just going to be super passive or are you going to find windows to be smart? Like, the problem with Lucio is that, like, you have to be mechanically good and intelligent with how you position to be able to do what we talked about, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just, game sense. It's you have to be able to mechanically do these things.
Yeah.
Like right now, get in on the diva. Mm-hmm. But also consider doing what right now? What's another option? What's happening behind you?
I don't know. Are you looking at the diva right now? Is it paused on the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's happening behind you right now?
I
predict, right?
Yeah. I guess they're coming through the choke, right?
Yeah. Do you see what I see?
I see.
You get what I'm saying? This is the kind of like, this is where, like, the reason why that works is, while I appreciate your attempt to get your Rhine out of here and to rotate and peel for your backline, I really do. I actually think this is helpful. Could have been very helpful. And then obviously you were trying to boop the diva back in, right? I think that's the play here, right? Smart. Yes. It's good. It's good. It's good. It really is good. Okay, but it fails. She goes the wrong direction. Okay, but this is still a short range off angle. Clutch the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't have to go backwards here. I mean, I don't mind this. This is okay. But I wonder how much of that was just because, that's the easier thing, and that's what my Reinhardt's doing, versus are you even thinking outside the box here? Like, honestly, here, you ready for this one? Your play here should not be to help your Rhine. Your Rhine's dead, my friend. It's over. Where should you be instead here?
On the off angle.
On the off angle. Get to the flank, kill this guy. This is the only way you guys even have a chance of winning this fight. Your 16 healing per second isn't going to matter jack all. You need to get the Zenyatta and Bastion turned around on you. And you can do that. But instead, it's like, this is where you're like, I'm going to help my Reinhardt's aggression. But what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Right.
You know, that you're pretty good mechanically, and you're gonna get better mechanically if you ask yourself more what you want to do. Think selfishly just a little bit here. Help when and where you can. Like the Junkrat flank is a great example where there was like there wasn't really a good option for you at all, so you're more than willing to help others. But if there's a good option for you, like right now, this is fine. But as you guys walk forward, if your team walks forward, where would you like to go?
I go in the window, clear whoever that is.
Top left, right? You can't kill her, but you can stop her from being there, or at least annoy her. Okay. Good stuff, 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 good stuff. Okay. You want to hear something crazy?
Should have stayed.
You should have stayed, right? Now, I appreciate your Rhine help here. I don't think it's a bad that you can stay because you can then take a position like this. This is useful too, but it would not have been bad. You could have been just a terrorist on the Zenyatta bastion. You know, like this is a great area of the map for you. You could be an absolute demon back here. So it's up to you. I want you to be at least. I don't want you to be like hard flanked all the time indiscriminately. Look for opportunities to help other people if they're on a good position for you. But keep in mind,
did I kind of miss my station when the soldier died though?
Oh yeah, you definitely did. You definitely missed your opportunity. Like you could have been with soldier. Why? Why would this have been useful? It's close, right?
Yeah.
It's close. It's useful. So you missed it. Great recognition, by the way. Now what?
Guess I gotta get out of there now.
Maybe, or stay. Right.
So I was conflicted because the Pharah was going up, and actually, despite how terribly I am at tracking ults, I had a feeling that she was looking for her ult when she got up there. So I thought I should entertain the high ground instead of going with the soldier.
Where are you right now?
Not on the high ground. I'm on the floor.
You're right. Let's be very clear. I love it. You're right. You could go back here and do the more defensive option of controlling this high ground because this is a good choice for you. You don't have to go like flank Lucio. This is pretty useful too. We talked about that like 2 minutes ago, but you're not there. Right? It's not there. You choose. You could be the more defensive Lucio. You could be more offensive Lucio as long as you're holding positions that actually make sense for your character. Remember the same thing that we talked about, like, do you want to help your Reinhardt with the Roadhog, or do you want to go, like, red at Lucio and, like, distract the backline? Both are good, but what you did is you stayed here. That's what we're seeing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, again, here, right? Why? Why are you here? You can either sit, I guess, maybe here or, you know, here, but you got to choose. This is good. There you go. There you go. There you go. See, even a freaking Pharah is scared of you, right? Even a Pharah, when the position is good, it's messy. Like, look at this. She's now shooting at you. You boop her in. She should have died here, actually. If your Bastion had not been... Where is your Bastion? Oh, no, that's their Bastion. I'm an idiot. Anyway, long story short, like, your Echo copy actually should have just killed the Pharah. That was a really nice boop from you. Good amp speed to keep yourself alive. Fight's lost, so frankly here, what should you do? Oh, it looks like you're gonna try and speed your team now. Okay, that's okay, that's okay. Oh, let's see it. Why is it not translate?
I don't know.
You see the problem again here? You see the problem again here? What should you be doing right now?
I should be going in there.
Cook, man. Cook. Get in there. Don't just run right down the middle, but use the wall. Maybe look for something here. Like, get in there. Ryan Penzen, you're definitely cooking here. There's 2 positions that you can play here. Where are they? Not just 2, but just for the sake of the argument here. Where should you go?
Could I? No, this is... I could go in the room, right?
Yeah, you could go in here. Yeah, right here.
Let's see,
This is trance right here, instantly. Or
Yeah. I mean, I could be like next to my Rhine, but
you could maybe off to the left, like here, or maybe even
yeah,
consider like playing the window again. It's awkward,
yeah.
but this is
I mean, this game specifically, it's weird because it feels like I only have two people that are killable.
right, exactly. But remember, a lot of what it is remember it's the position that matters, not necessarily the person. Like you're looking at this Moira and this Pharah, and you're going, "Oh, I can't mess with them." But you know what you can do? If the Moira or anybody pushes through, you could boot them back. You could pull their attention. The Pharah overextends like she just did 30 seconds ago. You can really harass and disrupt her disengage. The Diva takes high ground, you boop her off. Remember? The point is like you need to start thinking less about like, oh, I can only Reddit Lucio these targets. No. Think about the positions on the map that favor your character, whether that's the verticality, the wall ride, or just simply the short sightlines. Even going back to this point here, when they were on like what was it, Ana, Moira, Cass, or something like that, right? Like you couldn't really kill these guys. Like let's be honest, that's not why you're there. That's not why you're there. That's not why you're there. This position is up close. This position buys you at least the opportunity to keep them busy. And that's your goal. That's how you help your team. Like even here, right? Like I see this here, it's another missed opportunity. Where should your attention be right now? You see it?
Oh yeah.
You should have been there. Now you're like, well, I didn't see him go there. I didn't either. But you should have been looking for that.
Yeah.
That's your priority. Your priority was to turn around. Don't turn around. Look at the side.
And I think I'm late to the party again here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where am I DPS doing? Because, yeah, it's a far, it's scary, but, man, you're scary in there, too. And so what ends up happening is it's like you are a helping Lucio, and you're not totally inactive, otherwise you'd be flat. You do take action, but you generally wait for somebody else to take the initiative instead of seeing opportunities for you to actually have that initiative. Like, right now, you need to be with your right. But you could also be where? Where is there a good position for you to be right now? Not an easy answer. What do you think?
Honestly, if I could get in the back window, I could drop on the Zen maybe.
Like all the way here? Like here?
Yes.
You could. Find another shortish range off angle.
I could go on the right here next to the Moira, I think.
Like over here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I actually think what would have happened if you had started to rotate back this way, watch this. You could have been useful here. You see this?
Yeah.
You could have been useful here. And then if the Pharah doesn't come here, okay, fine. Pharah's not here. What is this still useful? Yeah. It's a little far. Is this still useful? Little far. Now I just heard. I knew. You're always late to the party. It's like you see something happen. You're like, oh, that was happening over there. I should have been there. Oh no. Mm-hmm. Now the good news is that at least selfishly, you're in a pretty good spot. Look at that. Immediately. You see it? You just took a world of heat off of your Reinhardt. Mm-hmm. Would have been better if you'd been there in the first place. Would have been better if you had your amp. Would have been better if you were a little bit cool, but this is fine. Like, if you just had your amp and you'd been there when your Echo would have been there, I think you would have been okay.
I guess what strays me is how bad it feels because that's a lot of shots, and I ended up dying and stuff. It feels terrible.
Right, but why does this feel bad?
Because I was late.
Because you were late, and why was that bad? Why is it bad being late? What just happened to kill feed, right?
Yeah.
What cooldown did you have to use because you were late?
Amp.
Right. So if you have amp here with Echo, totally different story. You amp right now. Heck, you could amp to run away. That's fine. But you live that. That's the problem. So if you take action and it's like, it doesn't feel good taking action, Don't assume that the action was bad. Look at how and when you took the action and make the decision from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like doing back squats with like 45 pounds on one side and 900 pounds on the other side and be like, man, this hurts. Maybe I should squat. Maybe you should look at how you're squatting.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to take action here. You need to take at least some sort of soft action here. What can you do?
Well, this right here feels kind of terrible because it feels like I'm all of the angles are too long. Like if I want to go take the bastion, I have to cross the open sight line.
And when I say go in and take action, it doesn't necessarily mean diving in.
Okay.
Okay? Let me open up some options to you. What you're doing now, or pressing primary fire here.
Yeah, I could do that.
It's not great. I'm with you on that one. You know, it feels awkward. It's like it's a little far away. But you could just set your crosshair at head height, spam, pull Discord, pull Bastion Grenade, maybe a damage orb, disengage, then do it again, disengage, do it again. Just be a rat. Because remember, what makes Lucio unique is not your range, but your speed is pretty darn useful. So that you could take these corny angles that don't even feel that good for you, but you shouldn't really die doing that. You shouldn't really die. That's the key thing. So sometimes an angle that doesn't play to your range is okay when there's literally no other option. What would you rather do? Play poke Lucio here or poke Lucio here? You choose. That's kind of the decision we have here.
Yeah.
We prefer not poke Lucio, period, but we don't really have that option. And I think even you are realizing that. You see this? You see it? There it is. Moira looks at you. Zen looks at you. You take Discord. Now that he was isolated. Don't go back here. Go do it again.
But is it not bad because our Rhine was backing up? Wouldn't I get pinched in that situation?
As in, the Rhine was backing up, I'd get isolated?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You backed off here, that's fine. What I'm saying is now that your Rhine is back forward, go back and do it again. Like now, do it again. Yeah, do it again. You see, you second guess yourself just a little bit, you know? Like, I understand going back here to do Bastion, but, like, you're already here. You might as well. Like, you might as well. Just see what happens. You have your amp. Let's go. Oh. It's scary, right? Maybe not perfectly executed, but you had your amp, and you were in close range. You did work. Like, how many supports do you know that could have lived that exact same situation? You know? That's a Lucio. That's a Lucio.
Yeah.
I appreciate you trying to help there, but he was too far. He was too far.
Yeah. I think I was also late again because maybe I could have helped him on that.
I don't know if you could have. I don't know if you could have. He was so he was literally in their spawn. I don't know if you saw that earlier.
Actually, no. I do remember that. I was so confused.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's not even necessarily a terrible play. He did kill the Pharah back there, but yeah, it is. He was just too far.
I was more confused as to how Soldier got back there, and no one saw.
He's been there for a long time. Watch this.
Oh man!
Just remember this when you died.
What?
And he's still here.
No way.
And he's still here. And he's still here. And he's still here. And he's still here. I wasn't joking.
That's insane.
And he's still here. And he's still here. And he actually played pretty well here if he just kept running.
Yeah.
If he kept running, he would have been fine. But yeah, that's basically what happened. That's why you shouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. Beat. I want to see it.
What?
Where do you want to go?
I feel like I should get that far down, but like I said earlier, which I think we already talked about, she could just get right back up there.
Sure. Look for an opportunity to engage, then press the Q. Okay, maybe not even anymore. Okay, keep going here. So this is the question: is this troll?
Yeah.
Is the idea of what you did trolling, or is the
Mhm.
execution trolling?
I think just the execution because I'm enabling somebody here. I'm
Are you
not
playing
doing
your
nothing.
effective range? No,
No,
obviously not.
but I
Is there a
have
better
soldier, which
option available?
yeah,
Where?
yeah. Next to the Rhine, I could be on the wall on the
Okay.
right. I think.
Like up here? Yeah, I agree. This is where I agree. I think the you plus wanting the soldier is a good thought. It's just if there's a better option available, maybe that's better instead. But I actually don't hate this too much. I do agree with you. The execution, you could have made this work with better execution and then amped out and been okay. Beat. Good. Oh man. Okay. I want to talk about how we're gonna actually apply these things here. Remind me at the end of these notes, at the end of this review. I have some ideas. Now, if there's no good option available in terms of your range, do you take a poke on main or do you take a poke on an angle?
Guess that would depend, right? I think here I could do an angle because I don't think anyone. I guess a diva could, but I think I could get away from the diva
Yep.
if I pick
It's
up.
the same question as back here. Do you prefer to be here just shooting whatever, or do you prefer to be here shooting whatever? Both feel bad, but at least one splits the enemy team's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So where should you be here?
Uh, I think I should be on the right. Where? Oh wait, who is that critical? Wherever they are.
Shocker, right? Do you see what
Yeah,
happens when you start doing these things? You start running into your teammates have the same idea, and that's the best
yeah.
case
Hey, you
scenario.
go here too.
Right, hey, right, exactly, exactly. It's like, oh, that's nice meeting you here. But yeah, I mean, look at this, right? Like, let's not lie here. Like, you're not gonna really get a kill here, but oh my days, will you scare people? You will scare people. You will force a reaction. You will force a response that's gonna matter more than what you're doing right now.
Mhm.
So do it. That boop on Diva is like useful, but it's just not as useful as what you could do here.
Yeah.
Because now your soldier's getting doped by Moira. He needs help. And while you are playing pretty well mechanically here, this is where you wanted to ask, like, I want to improve my macro strategy. I want to understand like pinpoint exactly what and where I'm going wrong. Your goal with Lucio is to be like, where do I need to put myself for the most impact? Whether that's an
Right.
angle or a shorter sight line. Those are the two things that you're looking for when you're making your decision. And I want you thinking not more selfishly, but more about what makes your character more effective and less about always helping. Help if you have mutual goals, great, prioritize that angle. But if your Ryan is AFK or your Widow's a million miles away, plus wanting makes no sense. Think more about what you can do. Because we've already seen that, like, along the way, you thinking like that, more often than not, you'll run into people that have the same idea, and you'll end up doing exactly what you wanted to do in the first place. So what makes Overwatch really important is if you have all these super mobile characters that can cause basically immense chaos all the time. All the time. And if you're not utilizing those things, you're going to have a bit of a hard time. If the enemy team isn't going to be getting close to you, then you need to find a way to get close to the enemy team and do so sneakily. Does that make sense? Didn't quite hear what you said.
I said, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Let's take some notes here. Lucio, when you go into games, what is something that you need to be specifically practicing?
Uh, Let me see. I guess when I should be taking an Off angle.
Consider off angling. Well, here's what I would like you to do to start. I want you to stop waiting for people to take proactive action. To take action.
My next few games, I'm gonna feed so much.
Well, wait for them to be there. Then ask yourself, what position can I be? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Don't go in by yourself, but wait for them to put their presence there. Then your timing is good. Now find where do you want to be. Short off angle, help your tank, help your DPS, do something by yourself. Figure it out. What position I can be? Prefer short angles, but if no angle, prefer +1 teammates, but if neither is available, an angle will do. How does that look? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. When you were missing the +1s, when you were missing the Junkrats and the soldiers and the echoes on the flank, right?
Mm.
Why was that something that you were missing? What was the root cause, do you think?
I think I just wasn't looking for the angle. I think going back to what you said earlier, then I'm gonna flip it to allies. Earlier you said it's not who you can kill, but your positioning or something like that. But it's similar with allies. It's not who you can, or
yeah, I know.
I guess who you're similar to in range. It's really just the positioning altogether.
That's actually a really good way of putting it. It's not about who you can kill or support. It's about where the position is. And if there's somebody there to shoot, or in other words, that the target priority is good, great. If there's somebody there with you, great. But you think about the position first, and then the plays provide themselves, even if it's just a distraction. That's a good way of putting it. Okay. I think those are the big three. Was there anything else that stood out to you? Anything else that you saw that you need to be improving on?
Hello?
Working on. Can you hear me?
Oh man, I can't hear you.
Testing.